Well, good afternoon, guys. Chris with Nichols Retirement Empire. I'm going to talk to you today on my walk about something I've never revealed to you guys before, but I think I'm at the point in my life where I can talk about it. I want to talk about it. Back in the 80s, okay, early 80s, when I went to school, it was like a Christian school, and even the school I went to before that, it was a public school. There were rules about your hair and how long you could wear your hair, and you had to get your hair checked and all that and approved, and if your hair was too long you had to get a haircut. And I guess that was in response to the 60s and 70s and the long hair or whatever. But anyway, and then when I went to college, I went to a school called North Georgia College in Dahlonega, Georgia. And at that point in time, 1985, it was a military school, which still is, but it was a military school, and you could only, if you lived more than 20 miles outside of the school, you had to be in the ROTC. And of course, first thing they did when they got you in there was shave that head for you. So throughout my young life, growing up in the time that I did, you had short hair, and that's just, everybody had short hair. That was the style. But when I left North Georgia to go to the University of Georgia in 1986, I had an opportunity, which I took, to grow my hair for the first time in my life and have facial hair if I wanted, mustache, beard, whatever. I'm not going to get into this, but I have a video called Hair Curse. Hair Curse. And it is about how my family, we don't have any hair. We're all bald. And I knew I was going to be bald. From the time I was, 12 years old, I knew I was going to be bald. So I'm not going to bring that into it. But I will say that with that opportunity, in the short period of time in my life that I had hair, I was determined to grow some hair. So, and I'm not talking about on my back. So, that is exactly what I did. Now, this was 1986. In 1985, 1984, in that area, there was a band that I liked. This is before they were real popular, called U2. U2's lead singer, Bono, had a mullet. Now, at that time, that haircut was not known as a mullet. It was just long hair in the back, short hair on top. The term mullet was not around. So, and it was not, a super popular haircut, which should have clued me in at the time that I probably shouldn't have had mullet, but not a mullet. It wasn't a mullet. That I shouldn't have had that haircut. But I thought I was going to be on the cutting edge of the haircut world and be one of the first people to have the cool long hair in the back and short hair on top. The Bono haircut. So I began to grow my hair like Mr. Bono, and the band got more and more popular over the years, became one of the biggest bands in the history of the world. But he pretty quickly got rid of the Bono haircut. But I kept the Bono haircut until about 1989, which is when I graduated from college, and I had to go start interviewing for jobs, and I realized that haircut was not going to get me any job in Georgia anytime soon in the 80s. So I cut my hair, got my outfits straightened out, quit wearing shorts all the time, cut off camouflage shorts and old stinky t-shirts, and got some real clothes and started going interviewing for jobs with a real haircut. So that was the end of my Bono haircut days. Not the mullet, the Bono haircut. Then, so I start teaching, begin my professional career with a nice short haircut. Then along comes some dude named Billy Ray Cyrus. In about 1992, he hit the world with a bomb known as Achy Breaky Heart. You know that you couldn't, if you were an adult in the early 90s, about 1992, when that song came out, it was like pandemonium. It was like Corona 19 music. It was everywhere. All the news, all the videos, it was Achy Breaky Heart, had its own dance. He was the most good looking guy on the planet. All the girls loved Billy Ray with his long hair, his mullet. That is when it became known as the mullet. Now, bear in mind, my mullet, Bono haircut, had been gone for years. But now, when you go back and you look at our photos, and there are a few existing photos where I have that haircut. I've purged most of them that I can. But my mom, you can't throw your mom's old pictures away. She still has some pictures. There may even be some video footage of me with this alleged mullet, which was not a mullet because the mullet didn't exist yet. That is my argument. And as a lawyer, that's what I'm basing my case on. The mullet did not exist when I had the mullet. I mean, how could you call what I had a mullet when it wasn't even a thing yet? You explain that to me. But anyway, so I've always lived in fear that those pictures or those videos, even though there aren't many, could potentially get out, damaging my reputation. But you know what? I don't care anymore because, daggone it, it was not a mullet. And anyway, how many of you, why is it when you look back at these pictures, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, the first thing you do is always go, oh my God, look at that hair. How could I have thought that looked good? But you really did. You really thought that it looked good. It did look good. It looked good back then. Nobody back then thought it was weird that you had this big gigantic head of hair. It was okay. It's okay. So I have nothing to be ashamed of. Nobody has anything to be ashamed of about their wonderful thick head of hair. If anybody ought to be ashamed, it ought to be people like me who are in their 50s with no hair. I've told y'all before, if I had hair, I'd probably grow another mullet. I'd have a lot of hair. You just don't know what it's like. Oh, that's so funny to me. But anyway, so in my defense, that was not a mullet. That was a Bono haircut before the mullet existed. I rest my case. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Nichols Retirement Empire, where we had long hair in the back that was short on top before the mullet.